Hey, good morning, Forex traders. How you doing this morning? This is Vance Williams out of the U.S. Welcome to my morning prep. Um, it's gotten to the point where I just do this session, just all the things I do leading up to it, just to get ready for my own trading. And so, for the time being, I'm going to continue to just kind of share some of my thoughts and conclusions. It's Wednesday, February 11th. You can follow me on Twitter at forexartofwar.com. Also, if you when you press to play the show, when you do, if you click, for example, be part of the conversation right here, you'll see some links. First of all, you can see the Twitter link right here to follow me there. It's obviously just Forex Art of War, but you can also go to my website here. And the reason why that could be kind of significant is because if you're not a part of our trading team, let me get back to the main page. You can see a free Forex training series that I'm creating right here. I want to tell you just something about that. I'm shifting over completely so that I'm only charging for coaching. And so what's really cool about this free series on YouTube that I'm creating is I'm actually sharing all of my knowledge. And again, some people are just not going to quite understand that. I don't put any value or very little value on the knowledge itself. So just imagine, if you were learning baseball, you're going to have access to thousands of books on everything there is to know about baseball, but what you would pay for is me actually watching you swing and helping you do better. So that's pretty cool. I've actually really been enjoying making this series. So it's not done yet, but I continue to add classes and you'll see it grow over time. All right, so let me remind you that what I do on these sessions is for your educational purposes only. All right, in talking about fundamentals this morning, that's, news elements around the world. The top story is Greece, and I have to admit that I didn't pay much attention to Greece. Well, not any attention at all, actually, and I'll tell you why. Prior to 2011, I can't recall a single event in Greece that moved the market in any way at all, at least nothing that impacted what I do. Not their jobs data, not their GDP, not their trade deficits, nothing. I mean, it's just a non-factor. It's just it never makes it into the area of high impact data. So my guess is that what's stalling the euro dollar are concerns about the future of the Eurozone itself. But being the top story, I decided to take a closer look at Greece this morning. I mean, I knew they were in debt, like most countries are, but I was a little surprised by some things. I learned that 25% of their economy is black market, meaning it's outside of the system where it would be generating tax revenue. I read that 13% of Greeks paid a bribe of some kind, and 7 out of 10 are said to be significantly underreporting their income. Now, I'm not bashing Greece. I just want to kind of look at Greece like a business. Let's say there's a business, and the business wanted to borrow money from us to keep going. And what this would look like, it would look like employees stealing from the store. 25% of the store business is not going through the cash register, and near as I can tell, any measures to change any of this behavior has failed. Now, here's the thing: would you loan money to that business? That's what we're talking about here. Greece can't continue in this system without loans, and some just don't want to fund what they're doing. So there's obviously a lot more. You can look up austerity in Greece on Wikipedia if you want to, kind of look into that situation again. Again, I don't mean any disrespect to Greece. People can do whatever they want. This is really a question of, what's going on there and why do people not want to loan them money? So that's kind of interesting. We have light data this week for the U.S. dollar, but overall, the fundamentals continue to be very positive for the U.S. economy and the dollar. Most of all the jobs outlook is showing improvement in many different ways. The most recent was the jolts. I think it was the best data in many, many years. Even though it was what was expected, it just shows a steady climb. Now, one last thing is you're seeing my chart here. You can see a guy going all the way back. This started in a range, on the 8th, and it's just been slowly getting smaller and smaller and smaller again. Now, this appears to be a range of indecision, something you would expect, slowing, waiting for something to happen. But on Monday, I started noticing something that I hadn't seen or hadn't noticed before. And I want to show you. This is actually one of the, I get these quotes on my broker station, and it shows me basically prices a pip and a half above. In other words, orders a pip and a half above and orders a pip and a half to 2 pips below. And what I noticed was different starting on Monday. These numbers around US Open are usually around 27, 28, 29 million in this area. And I noticed every day that the price has been in a range. The volumes have been, 10 and 20% higher than usual. Now, this is just, my broker, which is pretty large, but it is just one broker. But I thought that was really interesting. So one of the conclusions we could draw from this is that this isn't really indecision, but someone holding this in this range. Anyway, I'm not sure that really has any impact on what we're going to do, but it is what it is. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. In major bank trades, I took a look at them real quick. I had shared that one of the top earning bank bought the pound dollar just under 5,200 yesterday. I kind of pop over that. When I look closer, I noticed their buy order was actually missed by 1 pip, maybe just less than a pip, or just under a pip. But I thought that got picked up, but it didn't. Anyway, later this morning, when price was over here, they set another buy entry at about 52.20, and that also was missed. It's still in, but we'll see. That same bank actually just closed out of a euro pound trade at plus 150. And then as far as the other banks, there was a couple of banks active this morning. They were just managing trades, changing profit targets and stops and that sort of thing. Still not a lot of activity out of the major banks. I'll go over more details when the team meets this morning. Let me see. I'm going to drop this down like this. All right, so let's take a quick look at the charts. Now, first thing I want to show you is, this trend line I've had in place all week, or at least, the last couple of days. You can see it's just holding right here. And what this shows is as the buyers push up, the sellers, they lose conviction in this area and the sellers pile on. They lose conviction in this area again, the sellers pile on, and so on. So it shows the weakening resolve by the buyers to push it higher, and that's really what this shows. It's not a trend line. Trend line is just a symbol of that, a symbol of what's happening with the buyers and sellers. A trend line in and of itself means nothing. So that's kind of where we're at. Right now we're down to a range of about 34 pips. So it's still moving, but just stuck between 112.76 and this trend line. And of course there will be another important level here, right here at 113.53. So probably what we need is some kind of new development to happen. Last week Greece was the story Monday and Tuesday, and then it was not the story anymore. So we need the story to change a little bit. The Eurogroup is meeting right now. Probably something is going to come out of those meetings, and when it does, it'll move. So we're still looking at 112.76 and 113.53 as the key levels. But if you get a 30-minute candle close, especially 2 of them above this is probably going to go. I'm still looking more towards the downside because the major fundamentals are still in favor of a strong dollar, weaker euro. Going over the pound, yesterday morning we were looking at 5,200 on the downside and 52.63 on the top side. And you can see Price came up and held at those levels. Came up just a little bit over, then dropped back in. And then, so if we drop down to the 5-minute, I'll show you a couple of trading opportunities. This one here would have been a little bit risky as it was coming out of that key level. If you could have, bottom line is, if you got it at 38.2, your stop probably still would have been under 61.8. You'd have been fine. If you got a better price, you'd have been fine. And this would have been a nice trade, but it would have been a little bit aggressive because you have to enter back inside the key range here. But some traders did catch that. The next trade is when it came out of here and pulls back to just under 38.2 right here. That's another trading setup where you get the second push here. So that's a couple of trades. As far as right now, you need a price to advance above here, above 52.99. And let's go back to the 30-minute. Or price begin to reverse down the other way. So you'd be looking at advance. We're going to say about 52.98. So we're really coming right into that 5,300. I'd look for a price to move above 5,300 with a range of advance big enough to get in and out with good risk management. As far as the euro, again, a breakthrough 1276, aggressive on a close above this trend line, more conservative above 113.53. The Australian dollar, this is showing the 5-minute, so it's showing that it did make a move here. There's some small moves moving price down. The Kiwi, not interested. The dollar yen continued its up move yesterday, as did the dollar Canadian. This is probably correlated again with oil prices. So that's about it. That's about all I have this morning. So, I mean, the trade that I'm most interested in right now, if I can get it, is a move below 1276. I'm more interested in going in the direction of the longer term trend if I can. So that's what I'm watching for. But if we do get up in here and everything's just moving in that direction, I'll definitely consider a trade in here as well. All right, so let's see, anything else? No, just remember, forexartofwar.com. You can actually watch that. It's right there. It's a big old banner. Just click on that to watch the new Forex training series. And always write to me if you have any questions. Members, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes. We'll get together with the team as Wall Street opens, and we'll look at the market together. Bye, everybody.